Welcome to the Friendly Geordies podcast. This is a Shawarma FM
Yalla.
pod
Yeah.
with Miss Love,
G'day.
myself, and you guys.
Thanks
No
for
one else
joining
to
us.
disturb our peace.
Jordan, we've done our Jordan pod. Jordan is out now, but just think of this as extra stuff. It probably won't do hard numbers on YouTube, but that's fine.
You don't say that. Sometimes it does.
True,
It
true,
really,
true. But-
like, there's enough people that like it.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
let's
thanks
start-
for joining us.
Let's start with the first segment.
Yeah.
So, in the old tradition of U.S. revoking visas, they're doing it for another reason now.
Okay.
Recently,
Yeah.
they revoked visas for 6 foreigners
Okay.
for comments that they made about Charlie Kirk.
Are you talking about American citizens?
No.
Oh, people
I'm talking about like
visiting.
Argentinians,
Oh my God,
like Aussies,
really?
people that fly to the U.S. They look at their social media
Shit.
and then they'll find something
This
like
is like crazy. This seems crazy to me. This is not what happens in America, is it? It's not supposed to happen.
Look, it never used to happen.
Now it's happening. Yeah.
I swear back in the day, like they would just, I think unless it was something like fun, like terrorism related,
Yeah.
you were fine.
Yeah.
But now it's just if you
What
annoy
happened
the
to freedom
government.
of speech?
It doesn't apply to non-U.S. citizens
Right.
from their perspective.
Yeah. Okay.
They're saying that if anyone, so they are asked to comment on the revocation of these visas. They said foreigners that celebrate death of Americans are not welcome in the U.S.
Well, you know what happened here?
What?
You know, Big John.
I did. We were going to talk about that, but like,
Okay, we'll talk about it after. But yeah, he was revoked for some reason.
no, but his revocation was not political related.
No, wasn't it?
No,
I thought it was
it
like
was-
too much Chinese. I thought it was that.
No, he did something which is a very common thing that some people would do.
Yeah.
Is that they'll come to Australia, or for that matter, we go to the U.S.
Yeah.
and we're going there for work purposes, which includes interviewing, recording content that you make, or blah blah blah. But they're on a tourist visa, so technically, if you're on a tourist visa, you can't earn money from.
Oh, is that
stuff
right?
made over there. Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
That's why I got in trouble in England when she said the customs lady said, "Are you planning on working while you're here?" And I said maybe, and then she went, "Poof," gave me a restricted visa, and I was like, "What was that for?" And she was like, "Because you just said you might work illegally." I'm like, "I was being colorful. I didn't know that it was illegal to." I was so
Yeah,
naive.
so you got to get the right visa to work.
Yeah, but then funnily enough, I
And also,
understand,
if you are planning on doing that, don't tell them.
silly,
Like, don't say maybe.
Yeah, I know.
In this case, what's the name of this TikToker? What's his name?
Big John.
Big John was like, I've got a few meets and greets and, here and
Yeah.
there, just like showing off.
That's funny.
And that was like, you can't do that. Anyway, so that's why his visa was
But
canceled.
isn't that ambiguous if you don't know you're going to earn money and it's through, I don't know.
It's not ambiguous, dude. Like, legally speaking, it's very clear.
So does that mean if you're a content creator and you're visiting a country, you have to have a working visa?
Yes. If you're going to create content, you can have whatever profession you want.
But is content like doing a Instagram live video?
If you're profiting off of that, as in like if you're...
What if you don't know if you'll profit?
I mean, how do you not know if your Instagram is monetized or not?
Oh,
If your Instagram is monetized,
yeah.
then technically speaking, you need to be on a work visa. If you're just, it doesn't matter if you're like broadcasting your message to hundreds of thousands of people. Like if I put something on my Instagram, I'm not getting paid for it, so I can do it wherever the hell I want.
True.
Now, that is not to say that everyone follows these rules. So, people go all over the
Right.
world making content. Very rarely are they applying for the right visa.
Yeah.
If that's the case, just know that legally you're supposed to. And even if you're going to do it, don't tell the airport staff that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that's...
He's basically did what I did in England.
Yeah.
But they rejected him. Like,
Yeah, because this is like
Whoa.
nowadays, this is a serious enough because people are going there and like, it started off with a lot of these streamers. You remember when iShowSpeed went to New Zealand?
no, but I know he went to China.
Yeah, he goes to different places
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
he makes a killing on these videos.
Right.
And so New Zealand was like, you weren't on the right visa. A lot of the times what happens is someone goes over there,
Yeah.
makes a big viral moment, and then by the time the authorities are like, wait, how is this guy working? He's on it, they're gone. Like they've left, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
yeah, because like it gets uploaded later, blah blah blah. So just know that this is like a visa thing. But anyways, this was
good. But
not
anyway,
the
yeah.
reason why the U.S. revoked visas
No, so it's
for
Charlie
these
Kirk
guys.
stuff.
This is a very, very political thing.
Do you think that's justified? Because we didn't let Gavin McInnes in because he was considered as a he said he's been known to promote violence, which I think is like he's ambiguous, and I think it was kind of ridiculous. But it's the same thing.
It's not. I'll tell you, like, okay, I know this might sound, but I think Australia has a better grounds to refuse Gavin McInnes' visa.
Yeah.
Because Gavin McInnes technically is an influencer.
Right.
So he's coming to Australia, I'm guessing, to have public events.
Yeah.
To meet people, to propagate his thing. These people whose visas are cancelled by the US are individuals that made posts on social media. They're not influencers. They're regular people.
But how do you define that?
I mean,
Numbers?
actually monetization.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think that would be a good way to do it.
okay.
If you're profiting off of it.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, if these posts that they made about Charlie Kirk, I don't know exactly what they said, but you can imagine what they said. If it's demonetized, like if there's no money making, then I think it's from an individual capacity, and we in Australia and anyone in the US should understand that people have different opinions.
Yeah.
But if that person is a big time, influencer, intellectual personality, and then I still say you should allow them because of freedom of speech. That's my position. So like, I would personally,
I agree.
I would be okay with it.
I look, celebrating someone's death is, I don't know.
It's a slippery slope, man.
Was
because
was that always the? Yeah, it's interesting. Like, was that always the case in America? Like, if I had
no, to give credit to them, it was not.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. What's the limit of freedom of speech? I thought it was inciting violence, but celebrating death isn't inciting violence. Oh man!
And who's to say they're celebrating it? I don't know. It's the term celebration is a bit much. He was a device.
They're also rejecting people for like JD Vance memes.
Yeah, I know, right? So like, this is clearly a pattern. So
that's crazy. Yeah. A meme. The Charlie Kirk death, I still think it's a bit crazy. I mean, like to revoke visas for that, I think that is a bit crazy.
Yeah, it's an intense environment.
What is going? Yeah, it's very. They're getting so. They're going full strong arm, aren't they? They're just like. Yeah, it's very it feels very like Russian, right? Don't you think?
The other thing with it is like, if you make like some kind of a law that if you're celebrating a death, then these are grounds for your visa to be revoked. Again, that's a very difficult thing to. Because, okay, in this instance, you feel like this is obvious, but there's many, like, for example, when, I don't know, like the leader of Hamas dies, right? Some people would be celebrating that because a terrorist has died. Some people would be really upset by that because they believe their freedom resistance guy died.
Yeah.
Now,
so it's ambiguous.
It's ambiguous. So, like, you can't make this blanket rule of like, oh, if you're celebrating death, what if you want to celebrate Osama bin Laden's death? I feel like that's a reasonable thing to celebrate about.
Also,
does that mean a visa gets refused?
Also, satire is a thing.
Well, yes, that's the other thing. Like, sometimes these laws or these legislations are taken so literally that it takes... Case in point, when you made that joke about Bill Gates and during COVID.
That was a joke.
It was a joke.
And we got an official...
But how do you explain it to like some Google algorithm that like... No, this was sarcasm. He wasn't actually saying that he's installing chips.
Yeah.
But because people are saying that...
Yeah. I feel really bad about...
No, but it is. It's fine. But I'm just saying that, like, these are subject to interpretations.
Exactly.
It's really difficult. So what you end up doing is it just becomes like at the whim of the ruling party. Like whoever's in government.
Exactly.
It's like their perspective.
I always thought of America as being like this bastion of freedom of speech, where it's like...
It kind of is. I mean, look, if you're an American citizen...
Like, say what you want.
I think it is still one of the easiest places to say whatever the hell you want. Obviously, that if you're a non-American citizen, I think a lot of people have realized that, legally you have no protection whatsoever.
Yeah. Jesus,
Technically speaking, the president could just kill you and nothing much would happen.
Really?
Yeah, if you're a foreign citizen.
Oh my God. I think our guest is coming. He's probably not going to come on. But
He's not going to come on the pod, but
yay!
the Gymster.
Well.
But the Gymster is not going to appear on the pod for those of you that are watching.
If it isn't, what's his name? Bad Empanada.
And I'm glad.
Fancy seeing you.
And I'm glad he isn't here for this segment because we all know what his opinion would be about
What is it?
visas being refused based on Charlie Kirk's celebration.
Yeah.
He
Fan.
I got to sit in.
You want to?
he was he's, that's going to be the Department of Justice.
You want to sit in?
What?
Oh, you can't.
We're gonna watch.
Hold on, I just need to talk in on this.
No, go. It's okay. It's okay.
Y'all be hating on Charlie. Y'all face the consequences. You know what I'm saying?
This pod's gotten too woke, man.
I was gonna do.
This world got too woke. Ever since they killed Charlie, he ain't setting y'all right.
My eyes are open now.
Yo, man, this guy makes some crazy, albeit good points. What were you gonna watch?
Y'all,
Alice in Borderland.
Alice in Borderland.
What the hell?
It's okay.
is
You go.
that?
This is like supposed to be one without you.
yeah.
Go.
Wait, that's he's done.
He's done.
He doesn't want
He just had to make it a point.
That concludes the friendly
Dude, now that's a professional.
Said what had to be
Leaves
said.
on a high.
Classic comedian. All right, you guys got your fill.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Jordan knows that what happened to him could happen to Jordan too."
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, all right. We'll move from that segment. Hey, in some more distressing news,
Yeah. Oh, great.
Alex Jones, whose
What's
defamation bill is 1.4 billion USD,
Yep.
took his appeal to the final stage, which is the Supreme Court of the US,
Yep.
and they said F off, Alex.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, his appeal got rejected at the US
Holy
Supreme Court.
shit. But he's already declared bankruptcy, so he doesn't have to pay it, right?
He has, but he's also like done some shady shit, which is
Put it in his dad's name.
put his dad's
Yeah.
name.
Oh,
Also,
I'm-
apparently hid millions of dollars
yeah.
from the liquidators.
His
and
dad, I
stuff.
think, owns the company now. Is that legal?
So, if done legally,
Did he?
I don't know.
Oh,
I really
poor
don't know.
Alex, dude. He's already such a stress.
It depends on the
life.
timing of when he did it. If you can prove that this was done with the explicit purpose of like saving money from the defamation ruling, which let's be real, it was.
obviously it was.
but if it was done shabbily
Yeah.
and they can prove that,
Yep.
then I think that would be a problem for Alex Jones. But like, you know, I'm pretty certain he's not going to pay. He will rot in prison if he has to, but he's not going to. And I don't think if he would have $1.4 billion, that's a lot of money.
Dude, no, he didn't. He was a millionaire. He wasn't
Yeah.
a billionaire. And also, like, so what's going to happen now?
So what happens now is that technically he's been ordered by the court to pay this money.
Yep.
He's going to claim that I don't have the money.
Yep.
The court's going to be like, how much do you have
Yep.
then? And he's going to pretend that he has $0.
Yep.
This will go back and forth. The court will come up with some amount of money that he has to pay internally, and he'll be in like lifelong debt. I'm guessing Alex Jones is not going to pay that money. And then, then he becomes like a bit of an outlaw. I don't know if it'll be enough for them to, they can't put him in jail. It's just going to make his life a bit more annoying where like he won't be able to get stuff in his name, blah, blah, blah. But it's manageable. I don't think he's going to pay. I don't think he can pay.
Is defamation? I know, like, obviously through we are on the Friendly Geordies podcast, but like, I know it's a big deal in Australia because you can just everything can be claimed a defamation. But I thought in America it wasn't as.
Yeah, it's a lot harder in America
what I
to be
mean.
liable. Yeah.
But he still copped it because I mean the case ruled that he was defaming.
Yeah, his case was like, first of all, you got to understand that at the end of the day, a judge is making a decision and the judges have their opinions.
Yes.
So clearly the judge
Yeah.
did not agree with the crisis actor.
Democratic judge.
But he also just was like blatantly lying. And that
You know, he
had
said that-
provable effects on.
He said he was having like a psychotic episode, which might be true.
Which might be true. Which, by the way, if you do have it, that's a defense that you can use.
they did try that.
But the threshold for that is really high.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to be successful in that defense.
Right.
However, you can technically use it as a defense. A lot of it is going to be based on independent health assessments.
Yeah.
If it was in Australia, at least, that's what it would be based on. But even then, man, like, to be able to adequately prove that you're crazy
Yeah.
is very, very hard. Because there was a time when it was somewhat easier and people were getting off of murder.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I mean, like you said, ultimately it does.
And even if you are crazy, they still send you to like crazy prison. You know what is actually a good defense? And that ideal situation. I remember reading
Doing
about
it-
this in law school.
Doing it for Uncle Sam.
If you end up like, let's say you murder someone, but your defense is not that I'm crazy, but your defense is that because of some medical reason, I'm partly crazy. So there are some instances where I become crazy,
Yeah.
and then there's some that I don't, where I'm not crazy. I'm very standard. And multiple doctors okay this.
So if you have
saying
like
that you're part
bipolar
crazy,
or BPD or something.
well, it has to be a higher threshold than just the basic BPD stuff.
Right, right.
But if the doctor can agree that, like, okay, this is like immobilization and he's partly this, and then eventually doctors agree that now he's been fixed,
yeah.
you can get off of murder.
Dang.
So it's like a weird, like the insanity plea is also, you need to like have a very specific one. But
Yeah.
again, even in this, it's really hard to prove this.
Yeah.
So it's a big call. But if it works, then you could go scot-free.
Do you reckon there are? I think that like ruling was fair enough. Let's be honest. But like, do you think there are judges that are inherently biased and let those biases overcome like the evidence, or like does that get beaten out of you by getting to the level of being a judge? Like, is it like there's a lot of esteem here and like that doesn't happen, or do you know? What
It
I'm
happens all the time, particularly in lower courts. A judge's
Right.
opinion, a judge's mood is actually pretty important.
saying? Jesus, did they teach you that in law school?
I mean, it's kind of implied. They don't teach you that, but like it's obvious.
Mood. I mean, I've seen Judge Judy. Sometimes she's
There was like a thing, I remember reading about this, or someone mentioned on a podcast where there was a study to say that like what was the most decisive consideration for judges giving harsher sentences as opposed to lower sentences.
yeah.
And they claim that the critical factor was the time of lunch for the judge.
That's crazy. That would be me. I'm
Yeah.
shocking with that. I'm like,
So if you're hungry, you're more likely to give harsher sentences.
yeah, that's maybe like AI judges will be good.
Yeah.
They'll be better. Or
No,
something.
I don't know if they will be, but the thing is, this all changes when there's a jury involved.
Yeah, of course.
So once there's a jury involved, then obviously the decision is with the jury. The judge can essentially just guide them
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't every case on Earth with a jury?
because it's a really expensive affair to have
'Cause
juries.
You have to
It
pay
also
them, you
like
have to pay them.
no, well, you don't. You do have to pay them some money, but it's not like they're not getting paid like a job. But the act of getting them, first of all, jury selection, it uses a lot more time
Gotcha.
for proceedings.
Yeah.
So, and time is money, like, and
Yeah,
it's hundreds of thousands of money in some
I
cases.
know, but shouldn't justice have no price tag?
So for big cases like murder and all of that stuff, or even like, assault and like where the gravity of the crime is high,
Yeah.
you do have a jury.
You know, I sat in when Jordan sent me to to some like court cases to get content. I went to a few, but I went to one in Sydney, and there were some crazy ones. There was like a sexual assault one, which was wild. No jury there, but there was one where there was a guy, this like dodgy guy that I pieced it together because you can just walk in, and he was like a dodgy guy. It was kind of scary because he kept staring at me when he was on the stand, and I'm like, he's gonna kill me or something because I was the only bystander in there. I think he was sussing me. I was like, who is this guy? But the way they were talking about it was like he was running a business and he was like laundering money, and it was dodgy and it was fraudulent, and there was like phone recordings and him playing, and it was like, you said on the phone, quote, like, we're gonna make a mozza here, like whatever. And there was a jury, and dude, I'll be real with you, I feel sorry for the guy who of us haven't thought about doing a business scam, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I felt bad for him. Like, he was just trying to...
Dude, you feel bad for them. Like when I had to visit court, it was a very depressing thing because like you would see a lot of.
Did you do it
this
for your
is the other
degree?
thing that
Your
you
degree,
realize. Yeah.
Yeah, because you sit in and...
Yeah, you had for part of the electives you had to do that. The most distressing thing is when you figure this out, that most of the people in prisons are actually intellectually disabled people. These people
Far out.
are not in prison because they committed a heinous act.
Yeah.
In some cases, yes, they are. But in many cases, they're in prison because they didn't adequately defend themselves. And
Yeah.
the reason they didn't adequately defend themselves is because they're not fully up there mentally. So you have instances where people will confess to a murder that they didn't commit.
Jesus.
Like later on, you find out with DNA, he didn't even commit the murder. And you're like, why did you take up on it? He's like, well, the cops were asking me and I was distressed and they said, you did it. And I said, yes, I did it.
So it's
I just
not-
wanted to get out of the situation.
So it's not only a like infallible what do you call it? Like process and organization, but it's like probably very infallible. Like it's probably
And sometimes this is like, sometimes the cops trick you into this.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
So what the cops will say is like, they will put you under immense amounts of stress. Now, this is someone that's like, you know, has IQ that's slightly below average. You're put under immense amounts of stress. Yeah. And then the cops tell you,
yeah,
this can all finish
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
We'll let you go. They'll even say shit like that. We'll let you go. Just
Have you
admit
seen
that
Making
you did
a
it.
Murderer?
I have.
That's what happens. He served like a long time, and I didn't finish it, but like that was crazy. Like it's it's like lowest.
In that case, there was a murder charge. In most cases, it's like you were accessory to a crime.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I wasn't even accessory. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And they're like, if you accept that you're accessory to this crime, you might get 3 years.
Yeah.
If you don't, we're going to put a case on you. And the maximum imprisonment is 15 years. So this guy, they're not like, you know, well versed in law. They come from like families that, you know, academics was not a priority.
Yeah.
They'll take that, even though they
Yeah.
didn't commit any crime.
Yeah. Do you think prison would suck, eh?
Prison obviously would suck.
Yeah.
I think again it depends if you're. I think the only beneficial thing about a prison is if you're a career criminal
Yeah.
and you go in there for like a couple of years for a small crime.
Changes its trajectory.
No. It just gives you a really good network for when you come out.
Shit.
So it's good for those people.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's school. It's like their uni.
You know,
So you're an up and coming criminal. You got caught for like some bullshit stealing job.
Yeah.
They sent you to prison for a year and a half. You go in there, you start hanging out with all these criminal masterminds. You establish contacts, and now when you're out, you've got like a really good network to commit crimes with.
this poor guy who I met in Lithgow when I was living there. He it was a bullshit thing. It wasn't really. It was like a technicality on a restraining order, which sounds dramatic, but it was his like ex-wife and children. It wasn't. I really think it was like harmless, you know. But whatever.
Someone said, I just want to address this. Someone said, but if you sue for getting falsely accused, you get paid in millions. Again, in theory, yes, you're right. But you have to understand that these people that are going into prison for being falsely accused don't have the finances to hire lawyers that can adequately run their case. Particularly once you have been convicted, it's really hard to overturn that decision to prove that you were falsely. Like what I'm trying to say is like the amount of resources that you need to achieve that, to get those millions of dollars, most people that are going to prison don't have those. I'm sure the person that commented this, that you might be able to, because you didn't grow up in like a housing commission and you're basically illiterate and everyone around you is going to prison in and out. So for you, it's not that big of a deal to go to prison. In those circumstances, it is extremely rare to be able to successfully sue the police and get paid millions of dollars. In theory, you're right, but I think you should also know this. Like,
Do you think it's like inherently screwed though that like the more you pay for a good lawyer, the better your chances are. It shouldn't be like that. It should be like in America, you know that whole thing of like if you can't afford an attorney, one will be given to you. Shouldn't that? First of all, is that what it's like here?
No. There is no constitutional right for you to representation. What we have over here is if you earn below a certain amount of money, then you qualify for legal aid.
Yeah.
But if you're just above that, you get nothing. And you're still poor. So we don't have that.
But don't you think that
in the
that's
US, they have that constitutional
it is
right.
kind of inherently a bit corrupt, isn't it? Because it's like the more you pay, it's like that's not how justice should work. It should be uniform.
It is,
like it's crazy.
It is, yeah. No defense for that.
Brutal. Like another case I know, this guy I know who got done with like a bunch of drugs in his boot. His family paid for this insanely expensive lawyer. He basically got let off just because they paid for this extremely expensive lawyer, and it's like, yeah, it's
a great
crazy.
lawyer is worth his weight in gold.
But what makes a great lawyer as opposed to a good lawyer? Experience, I suppose. But like, it's not building a house. It's not like building a brick wall. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, I suppose.
What you're saying? No, dude. It is
Like,
to be
this
a
is what I'm
good
saying.
lawyer.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right? In my mind, and I might be wrong here. Like, a doctor that's good is, let's say, this level, right? In my mind, a doctor that's good. A doctor that's great, in my mind, is like here. And there's like that much difference between good and great in a doctor. And that's what I think of as a lawyer. Someone that can build a house, a builder that's good, and a great builder, I think of like here. But for some reason, because I feel like the level to be a doctor, a surgeon, a lawyer is already so high that good to great seems like tiny increments to me. Is that wrong?
It's wrong.
Dang.
I'll tell you what. So you're right about the doctor bit because the entry for practicing medicine in Australia is so high that the difference between
good and great
is not that much.
And that's been my experience.
Which is why how many people you meet in your day-to-day life can say they're doctors?
None. I don't know.
How many people do you meet in your day-to-day life that say they're lawyers?
A lot.
Exactly. So the barrier to entry is low. So you have, particularly in lower courts, dude, like I can tell you this.
Yeah.
I would read case law after case law, particularly immigration cases, where there's a thing called the Administrative Appeals Tribunal, where if your visa gets rejected for whatever reason.
Like Big John.
Yes, but Big John probably wouldn't. But if you wanted to, you could appeal that decision at the AAT.
Right.
Every case, well, not every case, but a lot of the cases, the most exploited communities by lawyers are actually immigrants because they don't know a lot about the legal world.
Yep.
And their lawyers are not necessarily that good. So you would read case after case where the judge is saying that this case should not have been rejected. However, the representation of the plaintiff is so bad that I have no option but to refuse their visa.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is they're shit lawyers.
See,
in fact, I would argue that most lawyers are actually shit.
That's crazy. Because in my mind, probably because of Hollywood, to me, to get a law degree is like on par with to get being a doctor, getting a medical degree. In my mind.
What? Is it law and medicine are equal?
Yeah. That's,
It's not.
I just didn't think of it.
I saw like you would go to other countries, for example, a different, like Pakistan.
Yeah.
There are shit doctors as well because the barrier to entry is not that high.
Right.
So you could be an average student and become a doctor. In Australia, if you want to become a doctor, you have two options. One, you get a 99.9 ATAR, go to a medical school, which is the hardest thing you'll ever do, by the way. Med school is really, really tough.
Why is it so hard?
Because lives are at stake. Technically speaking, law should be the same, but it's
I'd love to. But is there like chemistry involved in being a doctor? Is there?
Of course.
There is that would be.
That's like a very critical component.
Shit, that would be hard. Chemistry, it's maths. It's just maths.
Yeah, in Australia, if you're a doctor, either you were like just an autistic level of nerd that has dedicated their life, or you're an overseas doctor who might not have had such a difficult experience in entry to medical school. However, if you want to practice in Australia, you have to pass these exams.
Yeah.
And those exams are some of the toughest in the world. So anyone that is legally allowed to practice medicine in Australia, I'm not saying that all doctors are great. I'm sure there's shit GPs as well.
I mean, probably.
But they are all pretty qualified to the extent where you can be safe enough that this person is going to be fine. And if you are a shit doctor, you end up becoming a GP. And when things get a bit intense, you send them off to like a specialist anyways.
How long's a law degree? How long's a doctor?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Technically, a law degree is only 3 years.
Right. So you did 4, yeah? 3?
No, I did it in 3. But like if you do it in undergrad,
Yeah.
because I did Juris Doctor, which is like a postgrad version of it.
Right.
But if you do in Australia, if you do law, you have to combine it with some other degree.
Right.
So then it becomes 5 years. But
Yep.
technically, you can do it in 3 years.
Right.
Medicine, on the other hand, your basic level of medicine is at least 6 years. And then if you want to do anything else,
Yeah.
then it could be 10 years before you're properly practicing.
That's why I have ultimate respect for doctors and even nurses. And you know what fascinates me? Surgeon, because you almost have to be like hyper autistic and to maybe not, but like, man, that is. Forget about the money and everything. I'm just talking about the job, the process itself. It's like, man, that would be crazy. Like that would be that's a crazy. It's fascinating to me.
It is. It's
you
good,
know,
it's
like
good work, but you really need to be a type of person to do it. I feel like anyone that has average to above average intelligence can become a lawyer, go to law school, become a lawyer. And I'm not even saying a shit lawyer. You can be a decent lawyer. But I think if you want to be a doctor, particularly trained in Australia, you need to be like autistic level smart.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it.
Definitely. It's like, yeah. I think that's what happens as you get... I've always respected them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as you get older, I don't know if you found this, but like I've started to... You become less arrogant and stuff, and you sort of like... Even like mechanics, I'm like... as soon as someone has some specialized skill and they can really apply it and they understand how to do that job well and you know, the functions of being a mechanic, or I mean, being a surgeon is basically being a mechanic on a human.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fascinating to me. It's cool. It's like very interesting. I think my whole life I've just been like looked at things generally. I'm like, that's this thing, whatever. It's like, that's not interesting. But like now, as soon as someone, I think I'm becoming more autistic. Like as soon as I'm just more interested in how the nuts and bolts of people's jobs that are very process heavy. It's interesting. It's just like I'd love to like shadow a surgeon for like a few days and stay out of the way, but just I mean, I couldn't watch the surgery because I'd pass out. I'm so bad with blood.
Do you know my cousin did do that?
Really?
So my cousin who lives in Chicago, they're Americans. He was born there. His dad, my uncle, moved there, right? So my uncle didn't have a great job. He was an engineer, technically, but then when he moved to the US, he started off as like, I think he used to like clean air conditioning units and shit.
Crap.
But anyways, he then ended up becoming like an air conditioning engineer for hospitals. Anyway, so he had there was one of the top surgeons in the US, heart surgeons, was at the hospital that he used to work at. And he developed like a casual conversation with him. And and my cousin, he was like a nerd at school. So he was really good at studies. He was in what US call accelerated sciences, blah, blah, blah. So my uncle tells the surgeon, he says like, oh, you know, my son, he's good at studies and I want him to become a doctor. And so the surgeon was like, you know what? Send him to me for an internship. Now, being an intern for him was one of the most valuable initial things that you can do because he's one of the top surgeons in the country. And so he's like, send me your son. We'll have an evaluation. Yeah. So my cousin ends up working, sort of shadowing him for like a month. Yeah. And because he's like a smart kid, the doctor is like, the surgeon gets really impressed. And then he tells my uncle, like, you know, your kid, He's got the goods. Your kid's a really
Damn.
smart kid.
Wow.
And I have no doubt that he can be a doctor. He should, because by this point, my cousin had just finished pre-med and he had to make a decision about going to medical school.
I just had this thought. It just cuts to him, and the doctor's like, he's like, there's a body there, and the doctor's like, and he's like, elbow. He's like,
Very,
and
very
he's,
good.
and I'm just like, leg. He's like, he's like, knee. He's like, yeah. Like, yeah. Head and brain. Yeah.
I'm sure there was a bit of that.
No, I'm kidding. Obviously not. But anyway.
But
sorry.
anyway, so so the surgeon says your son's actually really, really smart and he should definitely be going to medical school. In fact, if he does do that, he's gonna have a job straight away at my thing. And so my uncle was really happy. And then he went to his son and he said, you know, like you did a great job. The surgeon said this and that. This is gonna be good. And my cousin was like, I changed my mind. I'm not gonna be a doctor.
Why?
And then my uncle's like, why? But like you have like one of the best surgeons
Yeah.
already waiting to give you a job.
Can I guess why?
Why?
The hours are fucked.
Because he shadowed him for so long.
Stay
And
up
he-
all night.
So I asked
don't
my,
sleep for 3 days.
Exactly.
And also, don't kill this person. This, the risk to reward.
so he ended up not going to medical school because of this
Wow.
internship.
Well,
I asked him what happened. He was like, dude, this surgeon was 45 years old.
Yeah.
He looked like he was 65.
Yeah.
He had no time to exercise, so he was getting fat.
Yeah.
His hours were insane.
Yep.
He barely slept. As a
Yep.
consequence, I was doing the same thing.
Yep.
And like I did that for months and I was like, I do not want this man's
Totally.
life.
Totally.
And so he decided not to become a doctor.
I kind of get it. You know what's crazy? Like on my few stints in hospital, like when I screwed my knee up, that was the last one, right? I can't remember. It's usually injuries, right? This knee, I had to go to the hospital. Bro, they're under neon lights. There's no natural light all night. Bro, these people are angels. I was like in awe of how the dedication, the patience, they're dealing with injured, angry, what's the word?
Patience.
No, you know the word when you're kind of like
Agitated?
no, like almost righteous, like very being like, like very arrogant and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you guys are like, and you're literally saving people's lives. It's yeah, I'm just like, dude, I'm never more in awe. Honestly, it was crazy. It's like I would love to just hang out there and just be like, it's fascinating to me. It's like the closest thing we have to like angels. It is
Yeah,
true.
you know what, dude? I've been to surgery, and that is exactly how I felt after the surgery. I was like,
insane.
dude, angel.
And magicians. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you can just cut me open. Oh, put me to sleep, of course. So I don't feel anything. Yeah, of course, I expect
And
that.
fix me. Like,
Yeah, like people forget
I would
that
have
like
died without you. It's a crazy.
imagine pre-penicillin.
Oh, yeah, well.
A bite on this piece of wood. Yeah, sweet. Like anyone that can, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's crazy, man. But I like, but it's also like, that's why I'm like, you know what? Surgeons deserve every dollar they make, and then some, maybe more.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, it should be a high-paying job. I don't think that they should, like, the American system's a bit weird where they feel that doctors need to be paid an exorbitant amount of money at the cost of, like, patients because they feel that that's, I think it's a lie, but they pretend that that makes the healthcare better,
yeah,
which I don't know if it's true.
I
So
don't
I
think
think
that's true.
it should be obviously a well-paying job.
yeah.
But it doesn't mean just because you're a doctor, we have to pay you millions of dollars and
No.
then we have to compromise on healthcare for our poorest members. So there's a
No.
bit of a balance there.
I
And
agree,
To be
yeah,
fair,
yeah.
I haven't met a single doctor who is solely motivated by money. I have a lot of doctors in my family and some of them are motivated by money.
Right.
But like what I'm trying to say is like if you tell them that instead of getting $1 million a year,
Yeah.
they're going to get 600,000,
Yeah.
they won't leave the job in protest is what I'm trying to say.
I would imagine they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But they do say that America has the best doctors in the world because
I don't know if
think
it's because.
I don't think
but
it's because
there's no
it's
doubt,
probably
yeah.
just because
But not by a lot.
yeah.
They do have some cutting edge technology, which other
Yeah.
countries don't have. So certain surgeries, they would recommend you to go to the US.
yeah.
But generally speaking,
yeah.
the healthcare that we get in Australia is not worse.
No, it's probably better.
you could argue that it's not. You could argue that it is in some instances.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is like you're not getting a massive amount out of the exorbitant money that you're giving to doctors.
Yeah.
And also in America, it's not just the doctors. The doctors are part of it, but like there's insurance companies that are making like everyone is just making a killing out of this.
Yeah, the insurance companies,
Insurance companies, medical salesmen, like it is a toxic environment.
Yeah.
In fact, my cousin who did not become a doctor, but now he does, he sells this medical software to hospitals.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still does that, but he used to do that. And so he's part of that clock too. Just like forcing these softwares on companies that, you know, I don't know. What I'm saying is like their system's a bit toxic. Hey, let's start with the next segment.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a bit of a controversy. WWE wrestling, they went to Perth.
I've heard about this.
You heard about this?
Yeah, they booed.
And they booed the American national anthem.
Yeah.
Do you know why they did that?
No, I mean, probably, I don't know, they're like, screw America right now.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like Trump.
Yeah,
effect.
but it's not. It's like, we hate this wrestler.
No, they're saying, I don't know if that's what they actually, but they're claiming that the reason why a lot of people booed is because they're like, why are you playing the American national anthem in Australia? Like, it makes no sense.
It isn't an American thing?
I thought so too. I was like, I think it's particularly because you know what's happening in the US, there's a backlash against WWE because WWE is
because they brought
obviously
us Trump.
No, because the WWE has realized that there's a lot of money in overseas market.
Right.
And so now they're organizing big events in places like Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Along with Perth. And so Americans are saying we save up money to go to our big ticket event and you're moving it to like Saudi Arabia. We can't afford to go over there. This is bullshit. At the same time, when they do go to Perth, the American national anthem is being booed. So this is not going to play well in America.
That's so funny that like Bogans in Perth are like, this is our sport.
I don't know, dude. I think they're claiming it's because of that, but I think there might be an element of like, screw America.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a weird thing to go to an American sporting event.
WWE. It's Australian.
And then be like, fuck America. I was like, what are you doing here? Like, this is America. Like, there's nothing more American than WWE.
It's literally a fake performative sport. Like, it's the most American thing ever. It's like, it's not real.
Yeah.
And also,
just like the presidency.
Also, like, some people love WWE. They love it in Australia.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I got mates that love it, but
it's kind of ridiculous.
Bro, I'm just calling it. That shit's lame, dude. What are you doing? You're watching
I mean, they
that?
claim a lot of girls are getting into it because it does mimic a soap opera, and I do get that.
If you're a child...
If you're between the ages of 10 and 14...
That's fine.
It's fine.
Even
anyone
16.
older... Yeah, 16 or whatever. But anyone older than that, you can do it, but it's a bit lame.
We need to like rein this in. I think that, and I'm a complete man child, so I'm being, you know, I'm playing my guitar, being like, I'm going to be a rock star, and I'm 35, so I understand the irony. But like, please, like, objectively, there's certain things that like adults should not be engaging. Like this Comic-Con shit. It's like there's too much. It's like I like watching anime. I like, you know, I don't know, like
porn.
Yeah, that. Porn, like there's things that like
which is also performative. Let's not forget.
For you, maybe no.
Oh, no, I'm sure you have this incredible urge to scream. There's no other way to do this activity.
It's real, Ali. Some things are real, but like my point is like it's not. You can enjoy these things, you know, WWE as an adult, but there should be limits. Let's bring some shame back, like a little bit of shame.
And it's a bit too homoerotic. Let's be real. Against good Christian values.
Like, don't you think like, oh, there's just certain,
dude, you know, like
these expos, dude. I went to Sexpo and it was so bad, and like Comic-Con, all these things. It's like enjoy it, but like, dude, a grown man in a Pikachu outfit, you should be bullied. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Enjoy that in the comfort of your home. Dude, am I crazy here?
I had a friend, Brian. He was black, and we used to bond over this thing. When both of us were young, we loved wrestling, and our dads absolutely hated it.
Yeah, my dad would have.
My dad hated it because he didn't like the idea of violence and performative violence. He just thought it was a bad thing for kids to be watching. His dad, on the other hand, thought that it was making him gay. Because the dad would come and he would see like two men in their underwear like playfully wrestling each other, and so he would slap his son.
Oh my
and
God.
he'd be like, gay bastard.
This is making you gay. That is crazy, eh? That's like, I think we're past the point where it's like, dude, you can't become gay if you watch something. That's not how it works.
Dad was like a black man from Burundi who escaped persecution.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah.
You could, he a lot of his ideas are wrong. is
Hey,
what I'm trying
yeah.
to say.
Dude, have you seen those? Sorry, just a tangent. But have you seen those videos on Instagram where like English guys that are like, you know, his parents are like from Africa or something. They walk up to it's a trend. It's like cursing African uncles, and there's this like funny stock music like doo doo doo, like very stock. It's like, I actually kind of love it. It's like it's almost like video game music. And they have this like little thing that shoots out like dust or something, and they're like uncle, like a stranger on the street. And they're like, eh. They're always very sweet because, like, you know, I feel like generally, like, especially older like Africans that immigrate to the West, they're very like, man, they got style, and they got like, they're cool, they're stylish, they can vibe, they got vibe, you know. And then they're just like uncle, and he's just like, eh? And the streets of London. He's like, "Are you from?" They just say some shit like, they say, I don't know how they do it. They're like, from like Nigeria, and they're just like, no, and they're like, your brother, you know your brother from Nigeria. And sometimes they're like, yeah, and they're like, they sent me here now, and they're like, what do you mean? It's like you've been bad, and it's just like, what? You know, they're just like, who is this guy? And he's just like, I have him to put the curse on you, and they're just like, huh? And they're like, the curse, and they're like, and then just go, and this dust comes out, and he's like, whoa, and he's like, yeah, it's working, uncle, it's working, and then like, there's all the reactions are very different. Some of them are just like,
Dude, that would freak out a black man.
yeah. Some of them are like, I'll call the police. I don't know you. I'll call the police. But some just like 80% is just like, in the name of Jesus, I renounce you. And he's like, oh, it's working, uncle. And he's like, in the name of Jesus. And then like, they have this like fight in the streets. It's like, Jesus. And like sometimes
like
to like play
Harry Potter cosplay.
yeah, and then sometimes to like
black Harry Potter.
sometimes to play into it, that he's like, it's working. He's like, in the name of Jesus. I was like, no, not Jesus. And he's just like, Jesus Christ. And he's like, ah, and he like falls on the ground. He's like, no, please, and it's just like, in the name of Jesus. And he's like, no, not Jesus. You're hurting me. Please, uncle. And it's like, send you back to the depths of hell in the name of Jesus. Like, no, uncle, please. And brings me a lot of joy. I love it. I'll show you. Can I show,
I've got like
after
yeah,
this.
you can show me and I'll show you that. Have you seen those where like
I love it.
these white dudes in the US would go to
Yeah.
like some Indian poor looking man who's probably like an Uber Eats driver or something.
And then they fix
he
him
would-
up?
No.
Oh.
Well, I wish.
Oh, I've seen those ones.
What they do is they go and they say, "Oh, do you have like $50?" And they're like, "Oh, sorry." He's like, "Oh, don't worry, I can do it." And then they play that, you know, sound that you make when you pay something.
Oh, that's so
And
cruel.
they do it-
I can't watch that.
And then, dude, these Indian guys
Dude.
get like, it's like,
But dude, come
that
on.
was my rent, you
But dude,
bastard.
but dude, it is so cruel
Yeah.
to like scam someone that is already
Well,
poor.
you're not scamming because obviously you're not literally taking their
But
money.
it's just they think they are.
Yeah, they think.
I can't watch those. I can't watch that. That's too cringe.
Too intense.
Because the uncle thing is like, let's be real. If you actually think some dude's cursing you by going, "Sabababa," it's like, that's funny, bro. That's on you. Like, chill. Like, like
You're not 12. Stop it.
it's very funny. And like, you know what one guy said once?
What?
He goes, this guy was so funny. He goes, I put the curse on you. You know what he said? Because they always, like, I don't think they can see that he's filming or something. And like, this one guy just goes like, I am going to put a curse on you because of, and then this guy just straight up just goes, are you white? And he's like, no, I'm not white. And he's like, well, why are you doing this?
What? I didn't know that was like a race thing.
Huh? No, because he probably like, you know, I don't know, man. Like, look, the anti-immigration sentiment is getting pretty crazy in England and the West now. And like, who know, you know, it would probably be a little bit confronting with some of these guys who's like, this guy is not, he's black English. He's like, are you white? And he's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, why are you doing this? it's always like black guys because like, it would be a bit more hectic if a white guy was like, I put a curse on you.
Yeah.
And also like the guy would be like, dude, you don't know what you're doing.
You don't have the power.
You don't know what you're doing. You don't have the power. You know? There's something, what I'm saying is there's something charming about this dying art of curses and like voodoo. It's like, it's charming, bro. Like it's like a funny, it's just funny, you know, like it's great. I'll show you some of them. But people are getting arrested for it too.
I mean, I don't know if it's grounds for being arrested, but it is ground for like a little smack on the face for doing
There's
this.
some people that get arrested because they're saying it's like, I don't know,
Causing distress.
Yeah.
Assault.
Yeah. Assault. Yeah.
Hey, have you heard of this new dating trend called zip coding?
Oh, no, but I already know what it means.
What does it mean?
Where do you live? Are you poor? Because I don't want to hang out with you if you're not poor.
That's how it started. That's
Right.
how women are doing it.
Okay.
Some women are doing it, which is like you just date based on what your postcode is.
Yeah.
But then it's taken a new meaning for some
What is
men
it?
who are
Yeah.
also known as F-boys / spiders.
Spider.
And their idea is if you date someone,
yeah.
then you're only in a relationship with them in that postcode. If you're in a different postcode, you're free to be with someone else.
Oh. So what? Girls are looking for guys only in that postcode?
No, so like guys, maybe girls are doing it too, but
Yeah.
this is the zip coding thing, where like they only believe in fidelity as long as you're in the same postcode. So once you leave the postcode,
Yeah.
then you can have sex with whoever you want.
Wait, I still don't get it. If you can, I don't get it.
They're finding a bullshit
Yeah.
loophole.
Oh,
Which is that-
saying if she's not in your postcode, it's fine.
Yeah. It's the same sort of thing that I guess some men used to say, like, well, you're in a relationship, but if you're in a different country, rules don't apply.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say a lot, but yeah.
In this like insane world,
it's
like
insane. It's
devolved into literally postcodes.
dude. It is so mental. It's like, So, have you ever heard of a long distance relationship? Does that apply at all? It's like no, it does, and those are kind of crazy. But like, dude, some people don't live together, and they live in different countries and they've been together years.
I know, but that is a bit
Yeah.
intense. I've been in a long distance relationship,
That
to
would
be
be
honest.
that would be difficult.
And I think in my case, technically, we didn't have to be faithful, but you end up just being monogamous because like you're in a relationship,
yeah.
and she was in London, I was in Sydney,
Yeah.
and I guess technically we were allowed to date other people and shit, but I don't know about her. I'm sure she was also like, we just didn't end up doing that.
Yeah.
And it does suck. I don't think it's like a great way of maintaining a relationship.
No, I think it seems pretty difficult. But
So you want to actually, Jordan is still pissed off at me for like, there used to be this one Indian girl at my work
Yep.
who Jordan thought was smoking.
Yep.
He believed she was a 10.
Yep.
But because I'm brown and I don't have insane eyes, to me, she was like fine.
yeah, right.
And she was like wanting to go. And I used to tell him like, oh, dude, she's like saying that, ask me out on a date. She was very explicit about.
Yeah.
And I used to say, and he was like, do it. And I was like, no, dude, like I'm in a relationship with a girl in London. And so I'm not going to go for it.
Yeah,
And he used to get so pissed at me. He was like,
Really?
dude, that is not even a real relationship. The smoking woman who in his eyes was smoking.
Yeah.
But is like,
You did
he's
the
still
right
pissy
thing.
about that.
Really?
Yeah, he's still pissy about that. He's like, you moron. I think
you-
there's this thing that happens where if you're from the same ethnicity, like if I see a brown girl or a brown girl sees a brown man,
Yeah.
there is like a dynamic of like, oh, maybe we should go out kind of thing. You know, there's a bit of that.
Yeah.
So it's easier access. But for other white people, those brown people are like way hotter than what they actually
It's
are.
like exotic.
Yeah, I guess it's exotic. And for me, it's not exotic. It's just standard.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of, I get that, the exotic thing, but I'm more like in your boat where I'm just
Yeah.
like the opposite. I'm just like,
No,
nah.
same thing happens with, to be fair to him, same thing happens with like, there'd be a lot of white women that I'd be like, oh my God, she is hot. And he'd be like, you fat bastard, you don't know shit.
Really? Yeah, but he has strange taste, man. He's got some, I don't know.
The body of a 12-year-old boy.
So hectic. Yeah, he's got some interesting.
Okay, so you're not on board with the post-coding phenomenon?
Nah, dude, come on. I mean, on board. It's like, just say what you're really doing. You just want to fuck as much as you can.
Yeah.
Like, just shut up with these stupid terms.
think
Like, you might as well call it like You know, like
So what purpose does it serve? Because it's not fooling anyone.
it's
Why do they even come up with this theory? Why not
like-
just say like, I'm an asshole, I cheat?
It's like robbing a bank and calling it doing a loan. It's like I'm doing a loan in the bank. It's like, did you hold a gun in their face? Like, yeah. It's like you can't change the definition. It's theft. You can say it's a loan, but it's theft. You know, it's like you can't.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Is there any scenario where cheating is permissible?
Yeah, if the relationship is going to shit and you want to not have the relationship.
So you're saying it's only a way to break up? It's a pretty brutal
Yeah.
way to break up.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying that's like ethical, but I'm saying like that's the only time I might consider it like semi-ethical. It's not good or
So
right.
you are an old-fashioned man. I
Well,
see.
no. What do you? What? Come on. Some people are like, yeah, anytime you want. Like, I don't think that. That's insane. But like, no. Look, let's be real. No, there's no real time. But if a relationship is going to absolute shit, it's a little
I
different. It's
honestly
a little
think-
different.
I honestly think there's like two types of people. There's
Yeah.
only two. Well, male infidelity. Women can answer this question. Either you're a piece of shit man who's
Yeah.
like just kind of a psychopath and
Yeah.
just will like cheat for whatever excuse.
Yeah.
They usually have a hole within and they're filling
Yeah.
it up. They're just
guess
like
so, yeah.
sick people. Aside from that, the only instance where I know a man will cheat is if he's very unsatisfied with his relationship.
Yeah.
You
sure.
cannot have a man who's in a loving, happy relationship and cheating on the
Fair.
side.
Yeah, I think you're
Unless
right.
that man's psychopathic.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now-
and it's not an excuse,
Yeah.
but you're right. I think that is why it happens.
Because like for
Usually.
most men that are in a loving relationship, and look, I'll be myself included, the cost of ruining that relationship is so daunting and scary because you love being in the relationship
Yeah.
that the idea of cheating just freaks you out so much that you don't go for it. But I
Yeah.
can imagine if I'm like in a bad relationship and we both hate each other, dude, it'd be so easy to cheat.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And
So these
usually,
postcoding people are just like psychopaths.
yeah, it's usually also a symptom of like cheating's usually a symptom. It happens when it's like, well, that was probably going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what do you think about like this whole E&M, Gen Z E&M,
You mean D&M?
No,
No,
ethical-
S&M.
ethical non-monogamy?
Yeah, like open relationship shit or whatever. Is that what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is? I
Open
mean,
relations. It's a lot more common now than it used to
I
be.
think.
Miss.
Look,
I don't understand how that's good for the guys because I'd imagine that, dude, if you open up your relationship, dude, if I open up my relationship, she
Yeah.
is gonna have way more options.
yeah,
than
yeah,
I
yeah,
would.
exactly. The
How
girl,
is that gonna work in favor of the man? Can someone
I
explain
think
that
it
to me?
almost never does. So yeah, right.
Like,
And I
it'd
know
be
people.
so easy for her, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And I know people have done that, and that's what happens. Actually, a friend of mine, his brother, they had this situation where they were like, let's try it for a while, right? And they're like, okay. The chick was like killing it. He couldn't get like a date. So
Yeah.
it's like, bro, exactly what you said.
Every man has been single, and they know.
Yeah.
Unless you're like really, really hot, like
Yeah.
Brad Pitt or super famous,
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
you
Yeah.
you might get like 2 in a year.
You know what my take on that is? I think either we just do what we're doing in society now, that, or we just go full Brave New World. Have you read Brave New World? We go full Brave New World and just be like, you go to parties where you take soma and sex is like exchanging, a cigarette. Which I think is not a good thing. I think like if this is the trick. Can I tell you the trick to this? The answer to life, the how to win at life. Honestly, I know the answer. You want the answer?
I want to know now.
Here's the answer.
How do you do this?
And then this is a fact. God, I am so smart, but I'm telling you, you're going to agree. This is the ideal situation. You're in a relationship with someone, and I know a lot of people that do this, and it works, and they can have their cake and eat it too, right? If you're both comfortable in the relationship, you're like sexually comfortable, and you're like in love, and it's locked down, right? This is what you do. if you get, because sex does get stale, it does get boring. You need to spice it up. It happens. It does happen. It's like you can't wear the same pair of pants every day. It's just life. Sorry, it happens, right?
It doesn't stop you, miss.
Hey, these are freshly washed.
They were different in 2023. Okay.
You're in a loving relationship. What you do is, my opinion, if you are both comfortable, you find, usually doesn't have to be a couple, it can be a single person. If you're very comfortable, you find someone else that it's usually you're friends with them. And a certain night at some party, they stay over, and the deal is the couple goes, do you just want to have like a threesome, or do you, or two,
Like
or,
a unicorn situation.
I don't know what that means.
A unicorn is a woman that has sex with a couple. Like, so she's...
It can be a guy, it can be a girl.
Yeah, either way, unicorn.
Yeah. Or it can be a couple. But it's just this thing.
That's swinging, yeah.
It's just, but it's just this thing where it's like, dude, and I've never done this, but like, you've had a few drinks, like we're all comfortable, we all know each other. Let's be real. To an extent, this is basically going on a roller coaster. This is like dream world for adults.
Yeah, but the problem is, if one thinks about this scenario, then I believe in like equal rights for both. So if you say that that's what you want, let's say you're a husband or a boyfriend, and you say...
It has to be democratic.
Yeah, it has to be democratic, obviously. But what if later on...
Let's be real. It's mainly going to be a girl because the guy would be cut.
Yes, but like the girl, what if like then the girl says, I want another man?
That becomes...
Because the idea of a threesome, like that sounds
Here's
rad.
Here's the thing.
But then like if she suggests like, I do not want to have sex with another man.
Here's the thing. You have to be comfortable with that because it's only fair. Unless it's a situation where the girl is like, I just like having an extra girl. Then you're in like...
Yeah, that's
easy street.
like you lucked out.
Then you're
in
an easy
life.
street, which does happen a lot. That does happen, believe it or not. But
not to everyone.
Yeah, but it does happen. But I know.
But that's also like scary because if that's something that the girl is suggesting, I'm tempted to believe that she's bi.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Everyone's bi.
But then, like, how can you ensure that, like? Dude, you've heard of instances where people have had threesomes and then
they fell in love with the girl.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
What if it does?
That's a risk you have to take, dude, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not taking that risk.
You suck. You're locked in then. But like, I was going to say
no,
too.
I would want, dude.
That's a bullshit. That's like.
But then, wouldn't you be like? The other thing is, okay, let's assume that you're.
And also,
doing
can I just say, I know for a fact I have friends that would be happy with a dude doing it too.
Yeah, dude, your friends went to Newtown Performing Arts. It's a whole different culture.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about like regular folks,
Okay. I know regular folks that'd be fine too. Even a
but
guy.
then, like, don't you think this is okay? Assuming none of that happens, and it's like one of those like excellent opportunities where your other half is willing to like have a threesome. And
also keep in mind, it's not very common. This isn't something you do every week. It'd be a special thing. But anyway, go on.
But don't you think you'd be like, okay, if I was in that situation, I would be so nervous as to like how I am being perceived by my partner. Like, am I showing too much love the other way?
But that's just intuition. Don't do that. Don't be like.
How do you manage it?
How do you manage driving a car? You got to steer and look. Just manage it. What do you mean? How do you manage it?
How do you what if like afterwards it's a big issue?
It's a risk, but life's a risk, baby. There's risks, but there's a risk driving a car. So it's like with risks, there's more rewards, but you just have to manage the risks. Like, it can be done. It's not easy. I'm not talking from experience here, I promise. I'd tell you if I was, but I've seen this and it's like, I'm thinking of a couple I know in particular that do this. And it's like,
but then dude, your friends are like intense.
It works.
There's a lot of like wives being shared in that group as well, which is a bit intense.
It is intense, and it is risky and it is kind of crazy, but like, it's not that crazy, dude. It's all in the detail. If the people are close, they're friends, and it's like, this is a silly thing, and like,
but then how does that dynamic go? You're with your friends and you're sitting in your friends group and you go like, oh, these two have been intimate with my partner.
It's you. No. It usually. Oh, I should have said that. Almost exclusively, it's usually someone that's single. So there's no my partner did this thing. It's like it's just a single person, or it would never be one person. You'd ask both of them. You'd be like 4 people, which is kind of crazy. It's usually a single. It's usually when it's this rare thing where it's like someone is single and it's like, hey, you're single anyway. We're chill. If you're chill, it's that.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a Pandora's box. If you open it,
It could be.
you never know where you end up.
I mean, look, it could be, but what I'm saying is that isn't this thing of like that isn't a open relationship because it's not that. It's like it's not an open relationship. That's a completely different thing. It's like
It's an activity that's
it's like sometimes you go sometimes when you go to dinner you have the $100 snow egg from from Key. You don't eat that you eat that once a year.
okay. Once a year,
Yeah.
you have a partner. She wants a threesome with another man.
Yeah.
Once a year,
Yeah.
not opening up.
Yeah.
Do you agree to it?
So I know people that have done that. I have a friend that would be completely fine with it. Personally, if I might be okay with it, maybe.
Okay, if you're okay with it, then I
Maybe.
think it's a good.
Yeah, maybe.
Because in my head, because I'm not okay
But
with
it's all
that, then I have no
details.
rights to be okay
of
with
course,
the other
of
thing
course.
as well.
But it's all detailed. It's like you have a conversation. You know how life is. It's like there's no there can't be a lick of ambiguity. There can't be any ambiguity. It has to be everything has to be on the table, and you have to be like, these are the risks. This is this. Are you okay? It's like it has to be completely like that. And like, if there's a scenario where like either of them, anyone feels uncomfortable, then you just go pump the brakes and go, yeah, fuck it. Like, sorry, let's not. You know, if you really, if like put it this way, if either of the partners is uncomfortable from the get go, then definitely not. Definitely not. It has to be this rare thing where it's like, yeah, we're both comfortable, and it's like, you know, it's
this is going to
rare.
sound really seedy,
Yeah.
but in my head, the only way this is going to be acceptable to me, this is going to sound so gross, but I have a reason for it, is if the other person, if the third is a sex worker.
Why?
Because first of all, there's no feeling that we're being exploitative of someone else.
That shouldn't enter in. You have to know. They're usually close mates.
Secondly, there's no apprehensions that either of us are going to fall in love with the third person.
You can't. That's irrelevant because you can fall in love with a sex worker.
Who is doing that?
Happens all the time.
Anyways, I'm just saying it's a less risk. And
no,
then
it's not. That's
Thirdly,
wrong.
professional services would obviously be a lot better than amateur services.
I reckon all those points are null
Bullshit?
and void. Yeah, all of them. I just think that's like cop out. Plus, there's no. If you have like instincts of a human being and you're like, you can, talk to someone, then like the idea of like pressure or what the first thing you said of like all like
The exploitation. aspect.
that is completely
Because there is like a little weird thing where like a couple who are together, some couples are doing this where like they're into the whole
Yeah.
threesome
Yeah.
situation, and it's something that they do semi-regularly.
yeah.
And because it's a lot easier for women to gain trust of other women,
Yeah.
the wife or the girlfriend is the one scouting.
Yeah, you probably, yeah.
And I think there's a level of exploitation involved in that.
Not if they're close friends and that's not true at all. Why? You're just assuming that.
Yeah, I am assuming.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
experienced
not
it.
it's not true. It's like if somebody feels weird about it, which means that could mean I feel exploited, I feel awkward, then it's off. It's done. It's like you're like, no, I totally understand. It's like, sorry, it was a no hard feelings, you know? Like you just have to gauge how people feel about it, you know? You're just assuming that's a silly assumption. There's like it's not accurate.
All right, fair
and
enough.
if you feel like that exists, it's not happening.
It's
And
not
that's
happening.
that. No harm done. What?
All right, miss, you've convinced me. I'll talk to my wife and we'll go for a threesome.
No, you don't have to. I'm not saying that because a lot of people would not be comfortable. And then if you respect them, you don't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I'm just gonna pussy out my entire life and live one of those boring monogamous lives.
No. But it's this scenario is that. It's just, you just have to think sometimes you put a bit of Tabasco on your burger. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not that crazy.
But sometimes you put a bit too much Tabasco and now your burger's ruined.
Yeah,
and
but just don't put too much
you
on.
had a great burger and you just got greedy and you started putting in Tabasco and now you have to look for a new burger and it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, but just don't do that. I mean, you can get greedy in any instance in life. You can drink too much. You can eat too much. You feel sick. Like, just don't do that. You
All
know?
right, everyone.
Stick
I
that
hope
in
you
your
learned
pipe and smoke
a
it.
lot from this podcast. Make sure you leave some comments telling us what you think about ethical non-monogamy and threesomes, and is there an ethical way of doing it? I don't know.
I reckon.
Food for thought.
Yeah. I don't think it's that radical.
No, it's not radical, but it's just not for everyone else. I'm happy for people to be doing it. But every
That's
time I
not-
think about it deeply, every time I
Yeah.
realize that's not a good idea.
But I think it's fine depending. But being in like an open relationship and dating 4 people at the same time is not a good idea.
Well, you're not dating any of them. You're just sleeping around.
I don't think
Well,
that's-
but we shouldn't say this because
Some people think
some people think it's like legit. And I've received
think-
messages on Patreon about people in E&M relationships
Really?
explaining how
I think that is a slippery slope. Never say never, but I would say I don't understand how that would work, but I don't know. What do I know?
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful time. We'll see you guys next week.
Skibbity toilet.
Take care.